What is going on, everyone? Today is Friday, February 19th, 2021. Another episode of Talking That Talk with Kiefer and Kriegs. You know the whole intro by now. If you're a consistent watcher, we appreciate it. If it's your first time tuning in, my name is
Welcome
Justin
to it.
Krieger. Yeah, that's Zach Kiefer. We're just going to jump right into it. A little bit of a later episode, probably going to be going up around 9 ish Friday night. Jump right into it. Start with some recap from Thursday and Friday, or Wednesday and Thursday that we previewed on our Wednesday episode. Embiid, had 31, 11, and 9, led the 76ers past the shorthanded Rockets 118 to 113, snapping a 3-game losing streak. Embiid continued. They were without Ben Simmons. Embiid continued to put up big numbers, MVP type numbers. Um,
He's been
we'll talk
consistent all
about
year.
we'll talk about All Star later in the episode. Those came out, so we'll talk about that a little bit. um, Zach Levine led the Bulls over Pistons in a newly scheduled game, 105 to 102. Had 37, 5, and 5. And Patrick Williams, man, was talking some big shit about him. Had 15 points,
Keep
5
doing it.
rebounds, 2
Just keep talking
assists,
shit, and he's gonna keep performing.
and he hit a clutch through with, like, I think it was like 22 seconds left, something like that, to make them go up 103 to 102. Ultimately gave them the win. Got to get those wins against those lesser teams like the Pistons, and pulled through. And Patrick Williams showed up a little bit, so I still think he's a bust. Truthfully, I think he had a good game, but it's nice to see him step up when Kobe White kind of had an off game.
We'll jump into some Western Conference action. Curry and a supporting cast rally past the Heat in overtime, 120 to 112. They had a crazy comeback to even tie it in the fourth quarter, sent to overtime. Curry didn't shoot too hot, 5 of 20 from 3, which I mean is still 104, 25. Ooh, 25%. He did hit the go-ahead 3 with about 115 left in OT. I mean, he still had what, 27 or something like that.
Yeah, 27 points, something like that. He played really bad the first half. He said in the interview afterwards, I think they were interviewing Andrew Wiggins, and who's the other motherfucker that's there? That's
Kelly
kind of a
Oubre.
bigger name. Yeah, Oubre. They were talking to them, and they said, Steph was struggling. I think he was like 2 for fucking 12 or something in the first half from 3. And they said, at the first half he was pretty non-existent from the 3, and he said, we have full trust in him and knew he was going to step up eventually. It was just a matter of when. So it's nice to see that, having that. You know, obviously he's still the face of that franchise, and
He's the
I
best
don't think
shooter
he'll
to
ever
ever
play.
play. The best
Yeah,
shooter
I don't
that
think I don't think he'll ever play in another uniform. I think that's pretty safe to say. He likes Golden State. They like him. It's Steph Curry. He's always going to ball out no matter what.
the Heat continue to struggle.
Yeah.
They are several games under 500.
Jimmy Butler said they're still going to make the playoffs. We're making the playoffs, is what
I mean,
what
it's
he said
still
last
very,
night.
very early. They go on a good,
True.
they go on a good run. They win 9 out of 10, 11 out of 12. They're right back in the
Yeah.
middle of the playoff picture. Uh,
Right.
so the Blackhawks rookies showed out on Wednesday. Kevin Lankinen had 29 saves, his first career shutout. And then Philip, I don't even know how to say his name,
Kurashev.
Kurashev had a goal, led the Blackhawks 2-0 victory over the Red Wings, which is very, very nice. They need to keep winning games.
Especially against teams like that.
Yes. We talked about it. Blackhawks are slowly getting the ball rolling, looking better, playing better as a team, which is very nice to see. There's nothing better than watching the Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yep, I agree. I know going into the season not knowing a whole lot, I just knew that, just being a Chicago sports fan, the talk of the talk was Blackhawks weren't really going to be nothing. Should they tank? Should they, play for a low draft pick? Uh, but I think this young, like you said, they showed up last night or on Wednesday night. and I think they're just going to continue to keep getting that experience. Lankinen looked really good in the goal. I watched some highlights on it earlier today. I think it'll be. I don't know. I think they round out and make the playoffs.
I
Norman Powell, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't see them making it very far in the playoffs. Maybe winning a round or two. Not,
Yeah, I don't think they'll make a run.
but I think they'll be in it. You know, they'll have a decent season. We'll jump into
Yeah,
Thursday's game. Sorry, Norman
yeah,
Powell
you're
had
good, you're good.
29 points, 4 boards, 3 assists to lead the Raptors to 110-96 win over the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now dropped 5 straight, which is their longest skid in 4 years. And talking about the Bucks, Kendrick Perkins said last night that Siakam has more tools than Giannis. Something along those lines, saying that he's the better player. Which Kendrick Perkins is notorious for bad takes, but I
Yeah,
see where he's coming from with this. Siakam is very good, but I mean, he doesn't. No one plays like Giannis. I mean, he's
right.
back-to-back MVPs. I understand that he's not the greatest shooter, but he stretches the floor like no one's fucking seen. Dude's
Very true.
very, very lengthy, but it seems like they're going through a little skid. I mean, 5 games, 5 straight. They're still, I think, third or fourth in the Eastern Conference, even losing 5 straight. I don't see a problem yet. I'm not ready to sound the horn and rally the troops, but and last night, Harden 23, 5 and 11 assists. Joe Harris, money, 21 points,
Yeah,
5 boards, 1 assist. They led Nets past LeBron, who had 32, 8 and 7, and the Lakers 109-98. LeBron, obviously, he's fantastic, but the huge hole of not having AD is starting to show. Speaking of AD, he's out 4 weeks. They said today, at least 4 weeks. Then he'll be reevaluated. The Nets are playing good basketball. They're finishing games. I know I think either not this Monday, but the Monday before or the Friday before, we were talking about the Nets not being able to close games. And since then,
Yeah.
they've kind of turned it around and made us eat our words pretty much. But
Yeah,
they've
it's usually how it goes.
they've got 3 great scorers in Harden, Kyrie, KD. But Joe Harris is very, very underrated. The dude shoots lights out when he gets shots. So I see him being a key factor down the stretch for them. And then you can hop into a little college basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. Luke Garza and Joe Weiskamp. Garza had 30 and 8. Weiskamp had 17 and 8. Led number 11 Iowa past Wisconsin, 77-62. Just a big time game that we previewed on our Wednesday episode, so I figured we would show that in there. Big game of the Thursday night though was the Wichita State Shockers shocked the nation. Beat Houston 68-63. Shocker, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Houston drops number 6. That's another top 10 that lost this week. So I think it's less likely that Virginia drops out of the top 10. I know they have a pretty big game against Duke this Saturday night. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to do it for our recap of our Wednesday episode. We will get into some pretty big headlines that happened between our Wednesday episode and this episode. I think the biggest headline is
The 2
Carson
biggest.
Wentz. Yeah, 2 biggest. Yeah, Carson Wentz traded to the Colts, and Tatis going to the Padres. I think those are the 2 biggest things.
14-year
Carson Wentz-
extension. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
14 year extension, 340, right?
Yep.
340. Really,
He's there for life.
yeah. I mean, so apparently how it's starting this year.
Yeah.
Like they redid his contract, so he had 4 years left. So basically, it's a 10-year extension, which is
Essentially, yeah.
fucking outrageous. I think that's like you said. He's going to be there for life. He's going to be a Padres for life. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, when will he be a Yankee now?" Because the Yankees always somehow find a way to eat those big fucking contracts,
Yep.
and get him over there. So there was people were talking about what year. I mean, I think San Diego has to win a title within the next
It.
3 years.
I wouldn't even say that.
I mean, they have to go to it else. Yeah,
I would say two. I would say this year they've all play as a team. They kind of gel because they've got the people that they've acquired. They got have for more than 1 year, and I know Clevenger is hurt. He'll be out all year because of Tommy John. But
yep.
I say this year they make the championship series, either lose or go to the World Series. But I feel like year 2 will be the biggest. If they don't win, then I think they'll start shipping guys out, try to free up some more cap space. But with the Tatis deal, obviously turning a new leaf for the younger guys. He's fucking younger than us. We're both 23, almost 24, and Tatis is several years younger than us. But obviously,
right?
yeah, Trout's the face of MLB and will be until he retires. But
yeah,
Tatis is on his way up. He is the transitional talent. It's going to.
I think he's as big as of an impact on the MLB alone as Bryce Harper was when he made his run into it.
He's flashy. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's breaking the unwritten rules that all these old geezers bitch and complain about. He's getting the younger fan base involved, bringing fun to it, which is something that you need. I mean,
yeah, I mean, if the Padres are on, I'm gonna watch them just because of that. Like, they have so much talent on the team, for one, and for two, like you said, he brings so much. He's like how Javi does. He's like how Javi with Javi, how Javi brings the excitement to the game. Tatis does the same thing.
And then jump over, like Justin said, Chris went straight to the Colts for a third-round pick this year, and a conditional 22 second-round pick that could turn into a first-rounder if he plays 75% of the downs, I believe is what they said.
Yeah.
And a little note that they added was Wentz and Doug Peterson were not talking for 8 to 10 weeks of the season. That is a huge disconnection between the head coach and the quarterback. If that was known sooner, then the chances of like people thinking, oh, what's going to happen with them, that would have been set in stone. Like one of them's, I mean, they both left, but
right.
You kind of got to think. I mean, they won the Super Bowl. They won the first ever Super Bowl. So what did Peterson want out because of higher ups? Is it the owners and stuff that is the problem, or was Peterson just a prick? You know, because you've got.
I don't know, dude. Doug Peterson. I've never really liked him as a coach, mainly just because every time I hear his name, it makes you think of the double doink.
Doink.
Yeah, I don't like the Eagles as a franchise, so I don't like Carson Wentz. I mean, we got Big Dick Nick, but as it looks like he might.
Here's one. It was a shot
a
in
3-game.
the dark,
yeah. It was a 5-game rental for us. Going to some. I guess we'll stick with football for a little bit. Speaking of the Eagles. It is said to be Deshaun Jackson is supposed to be released. Either
he was released today
or tomorrow. Was he released?
Yeah, he was released shortly after after he posted about a new next chapter. Yeah, they released him.
Okay, I figured nothing really, no news really. Honestly, it is what it is. I don't think he'll. I mean, he'll get signed by someone for a shot, but he
hasn't been an impact player for a few years, so it's he's gonna fill depth.
He said number one deep threat in the NFL is on the move or was open for no, not even close. There's 10 guys ahead of you that
at least.
Yeah, at least. Shift over to some Cubs. Yeah, some Cubs stuff. Brandon Workman is officially official. We like to say that on this show. Got set in stone. He got signed. He is with the pitchers and catchers in spring training.
Through today as well.
Yep, he threw today. He is on the active roster. Everything's good to go with him. David Ross talked a little bit about him, and he's
his
He came
last
off a
full
pretty-
season, he's coming off a really bad injury, but his last full season was phenomenal.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll see how he goes. I mean, the Cubs need the bullpen help as much as we can get it.
The thing is, if he's even 60-70% of what he was in 2019, it's a good sign. It's a good deal. I'm excited to see what happens, what he does. Hopefully he can stay healthy. And there was another thing about
and so we'll just this is stem off the 2019 season that he had. He was 10-1 with a sub-2 ERA. So if we can get, like you said, if we can get half that, 60%,
even if he's say
that workload,
5-1 with a fucking 2.5 ERA.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything under 3 in the bullpen, that's because he's going to eat innings. He's not going to close games.
Right.
So
100%.
those middle relievers that are eating up innings, if you got a below 3 or 4 ERA, you're doing something right.
Right.
Like I said, speaking of Cubs, though, the Bryant talks with the Mets, trade talks between Cubs and Mets, completely done, shut out today. This says that never got past the first inning with the trade. Cubs made it really obvious what they wanted, and the Mets didn't budge a bit. So it was kind of this is what we want. Obviously, you want Bryant, but this is what we want in return. And
if you don't give it to us, then kick rocks.
Exactly, and that's what it's been. They said, all right, well, see ya. And then they finally finished the top 100 players list. MLB did.
Who's number one?
Yesterday, Trout, obviously.
Yeah.
Trout, Betts, DeGrom were 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So, and then we're just gonna touch a little bit because it's, excuse me, a cool little stat. The teams with the most top 100 players. Number 1 was the White Sox with 9, or tied with the Dodgers at 9 apiece. Obviously, White Sox are younger, and they've brought in a couple guys who are great already, but they've got good young talent that are still making names for themselves. The Dodgers got a bunch of old established talent. They brought Bauer in, Mookie Betts, Cody Bellinger, Clayton Kershaw. But you guys got guys like Corey Seager, Will Smith. I think Will Smith made it. Muncy. Both those teams are bloated. Obviously, we see what the Dodgers have done. This is the White Sox second year, and they're no longer rebuilding. They're championship ready.
Win now.
They're win now. The gas is the foot's on the pedal.
Yeah.
And then
and it's hard to see that as a Cubs fan because I want the White Sox to win 10 games in every year, but it is what it is.
The New York teams share the second spot with 7 apiece. Obviously, the Mets acquired 2 of them this offseason. And the Yankees are the Yankees. They've got the talent. Blue Jays come in with 6. Padres at 5. Cubs at 5. Braves at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me see this real quick. So 9, 18 plus 14 is 32. 42, 53. So 53 of the top 100 are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 teams. 53 are from 8 teams, which is kind of nuts to think about because there's 30 teams in the 30 teams in the MLB.
Mm-hmm. So here, let me ask you this: Are all those teams on that list, or you think they got a shot for the series this year? To make it at least?
I would say I think all these teams are in the playoffs.
How many of these teams do you think have an actual shot at winning the World Series?
I'd say 3. Dodgers, Yankees, Padres.
Yeah.
I think those are the teams that are going to have the best shot. I think we'll see at least one of those 3 teams in the World Series.
Yeah, I can say that. I think the Padres go this year.
I'd love to see the Padres go. They've got they brought in Blake Snell. They got fucking Darvish. We're not gonna talk about that anymore because it's just gonna make me mad. But we'll jump into the NBA All-Star starters were announced last night. Obviously, if you watch the NBA, you know that they changed the format to where the top 5 in each conference are voted as starters, and then they do a draft between the two captains. And the two captains are LeBron in the West, KD. So Team LeBron, Team Durant. The West pool for starters is Curry, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Kawhi. The Eastern Conference is Giannis, KD, Embiid, Irving, and Beal. With that being said, I know you were pretty heated about it, so you can dip into that.
It's dumb. It's so politically driven. It's stupid. I don't see a way that Kyrie Irving makes the All-Star game with as many games as he's missed this season. For one, okay, he missed like 4 or 5 games. Zach LaVine has played in every single game at least 35 minutes. Has literally the only stat that Kyrie Irving is beating him in is assists, and Kyrie Irving has 5.6 and Zach LaVine has 5.2. Shooting, free throw percentage, 3-point percentage, everything else, rebounds, points per game, assists, literally everything. Zach LaVine beats him in, and it's so dumb that it's. I understand Bradley Beal. I'm fine with Embiid. He's playing like an all-star.
He deserves to be a starter.
Durant deserves to be a starter. Giannis, you can make a case for.
You got to think about it this way though: the reigning 2-time MVP is not gonna be a starter unless he's hurt.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You can make a case for him. There could be some other people that could have started in that spot, but I think the fact that Kyrie Irving got it is absolutely fucking absurd.
I agree with you.
I think it's so dumb. It makes me so mad. I know we talked about it before, about with the voting and what the votes were and how it was laid out. And I mean, I think at this point you give it to fucking James Harden before you give it to Kyrie Irving. Like, it's ridiculous. It really irritates me because Zach LaVine has been balling his fucking ass off, and he's not going to get a starter. He's going to make the All-Star game, but
he should be starting. He should be a starter.
Yeah, 100% should be a starter.
We'll jump into the West. I think the West is perfect. It's tough because I think Dame deserves to be in there, but who do you take out of that list?
Right.
So it's tough. I see the argument for both. I know the biggest conversation was Luka over Lillard since Lillard's, but the stats that I saw, they split like 3-3. So like I said, the toss-up, it goes anywhere, but you got to think though. Luka is his 3rd year in the league, and Dame's been great for as long as he's been in the league, but like the popularity and the overall, Lillard's a great shooter. He does lead that team, but besides Porzingis, who else do the Mavericks have?
Right.
He's got the team on his back, and like I said, it can go either way. I see both arguments, but I think it's perfect. Jokic, you have to have there. Steph, you have to have there. He's got the same numbers almost identically as his MVP season, which we talked about Wednesday. Kawhi, the silent killer. They talk about the Clippers, but
they're the best team in the NBA right now, record-wise.
Kawhi's having a Kawhi year.
And they're like not talked about at all.
Yeah, which is great because that's all they talked about last year.
Right.
But exactly. And LeBron, unless he's hurt or coming off the bench, he's going to be an all-star starter.
Right.
But you got anything else you want to touch on?
No, I think we just dive into the recap or the preview into this weekend.
All right, I'll do tonight's games. You do Saturday's games, and we'll split Sunday. How about that?
All right.
All right. So tonight, this game's underway already. Bulls 12-15, 7-6 on the road. They're at Philadelphia, who's 19-10. No Simmons. They're 12-2 at home. 7:30 on ESPN. And then on 10 o'clock on ESPN, we got the Jazz who are 24-5, best record in the league, 11-3 on the road versus Clippers, who are 21-9, 10-5 at home. The line for the Philly Bulls game is Philly under 8, and then Utah under 5. We'll pick these games real quick.
So we're gonna be introducing. I mean, this is a good time to just talk about it, real short and sweet. Friday night, there's gonna be 2 games, both on ESPN. That we're gonna be calling the marquee games of the night for the NBA. We're gonna start keeping records on those. Starting this week, last week, but again,
we did the week before because we didn't. We did do the week before.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
So
well, I'm gonna say, as much as I hate to say it, I'm gonna say 76ers, 12-2 at home. They're doing work. The 76ers are a good team, and I don't think the Bulls have what it takes to beat them on the road. As far as the Jazz Clippers, I'm gonna go Jazz. They've been playing really really well. They're 11-3 on the road. I'm gonna go Jazz.
all right, I'm gonna go Bulls. Just go opposite of you for one of them, and I'm gonna go Jazz as well. And tonight as well, which has already started. It's probably halfway over at least. Blackhawks versus Hurricanes. The Hawks are 9-5-4. The Hurricanes are 10-3-1. The Lions, Carolina under 175. Over under for goals is 6. And those are the key matchups for tonight. And then Justin can get into Saturday's games.
Yeah, Saturday we got a finals rematch. Heat versus Lakers. 8:30 on ABC. The line is Lakers -3. I think the Heat are struggling. I think the Lakers are going to take it away with this one.
I
I
agree
don't
with
think
you.
there's really much to talk about. As far as NBA games, there's not really any big matchups on Saturday night. The rest of the night, we do got 2 pretty Big 12 matchups though. Number 15 Texas Tech traveling to number 23 Kansas. Texas Tech 6-5 in the Big 12. Kansas is 10-5 in the Big 12. We'll see how that shapes up. It's just going to be a seeding game for the Big 12, really. And then West Virginia, number 13, traveling to number 12 Texas. That is going to be at 3 o'clock on ABC on Saturday. Texas line -4. Again, just another Big 12 game. Not really going to touch into it very much, but we'll leave it at that.
Hop into Sunday. Celtics, who are 14-14, 7-9 on the road, are in New Orleans. Who are 12-6, 7-6, or 12-16 and 7-6 at home. 3:30 on ABC. Then we got a late game, 8 p.m. on ESPN. The Nets, 19-12, 8-7 on the road versus the Clippers, or 21-9, which obviously they'll have another game before that. 10-5 at home. Should be 2 pretty good matchups. The young Celtics team against a very young Pelicans team, and Zion has not been taught. He was talked about all last year, and now that he's balling out, they don't talk about him. He's not talked about much, which it's good to see the big man getting his work in. Obviously, the centerpiece of that team is going to be there for a lot. They're going to try to keep him there for a long time.
Yeah, I think that those are going to be 2 pretty good games. I think there's no doubt about that. It'll be a packed Sunday for basketball, including the first game that's going to be on Sunday. Probably the biggest game of the Sunday slate that we got on here. Number 3 Michigan traveling to number 4 Ohio State. 15-1 for Michigan, 10-1 in the Big Ten. Ohio State's 18-4, 12-4 in the Big Ten. Going to be a huge game. Hopefully Michigan pulls through and gets that dub. We also got Sunday night.
OHIO.
Yeah. Fuck that team, dude. Sunday night we got the Elimination Chamber for the WWE. I know we said we'll touch on just pretty much the pay-per-views as far as wrestling goes.
We'll talk about pay-per-views the leading up to it. Friday, like tonight's episode. Obviously, we'll talk about like the main matches, and obviously this is a special pay-per-view Elimination Chamber. So we're just gonna talk about the 2 matches that are gonna take place in the Elimination Chamber itself. And I mean, with WrestleMania, it'll be different just because of the spectacle that it is. But yeah, sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're good. You're good. So for the WWE Championship, it's just going to be a normal Elimination Chamber match. Drew McIntyre is the champion. Kofi Kingston Sheamus, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy. I think they said all 5 of the
All of them have been WWE champion.
correct. All 5 of them have been WWE champion. So that's gonna be an entertaining matchup. I'm sure, just as it is. I'm sure they'll do something with fucking Alexis Bliss involved in it with the whole Randy Orton thing.
That'll
I'm sure
probably how Randy Orton goes out. I can see the Fiend making his return Sunday night.
Yeah. Yep, I could see that. Then on the other side
The
of
Blue
the
Brand.
yeah, Universal title match. So they're not gonna do a champion match.
It's a number
as
one
far as-
contenders match to face Roman for the title later on the night. So that'll probably
Correct.
open the show.
Right. So that is gonna be Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and King Corbin. I think with Edge winning, Edge has a spot at WrestleMania. Obviously he won the Royal Rumble.
He is appearing
think-
on SmackDown tonight too, as well.
Right. So I think, I don't know, dude. I don't really know. I don't think the title changes at all this pay-per-view for either of them. I think McIntyre goes in and gets the win, and I think
I can see the Miz cashing in. I see that closing the show. I think Drew starts it. Outlasts everybody. He's worn down, beat down. Can barely, like a John Cena Edge New Year's Revolution after the first ever Chamber. I think he's just going to be beat down. Miz is going to come down, cash in. That's just my thought, but like I don't see the title. I don't see either title changing place. Obviously, in the Chamber, I don't see the WWE title changing. I see it after, but we'll see.
yeah.
Who do you think wins SmackDown one?
I could see them having Jey Uso win it
Yeah.
just to kind of spice things up with him and Roman, and see, like, because Roman's always kind of, obviously Roman is like runs whatever fucking cult they're in or whatever.
Colt.
The fucking factions that they have in that show are so fucking ridiculous now. Like, you look at the factions now and compared to like DX and shit like
Dude,
that.
Undisputed Era is the best faction that has ever been in WWE.
Yeah. There's just a lot of different shit. I think Jey Uso probably wins it, just so, because Roman, like I said, he's always been the guy as far as that.
And Kevin has faced him the last 2 pay-per-views for the belt.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna. I think they're done with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll see what happens tonight on SmackDown, but I think it's probably gonna be Uso.
I see Uso
Roman.
or Bryan.
Yeah, I think Uso will do it. I think they'll do some petty ass bullshit where he just like lays down and lets Roman win. Truthfully, I think they could do that kind of route, or I mean, they can do whatever. I don't know. WWE is so unpredictable. I mean, there's some things you can predict about it, but like before, you could tell a lot more. What I feel like when I was younger, as far as the storylines go, they were a lot more not set in stone, but followed more. I feel like now, like, not that it's not as big of a stuff because it's on Fox and stuff.
It's as big as it's ever been, but
right. But I feel like they try and push it too much to where they always want to like flip the switch real quick and flip the plot line.
They are so quick to pull the trigger on something.
Yeah.
Instead of letting it
Because of
build.
Panther.
If it gets a bad, I just fell. If it doesn't get the reaction that they want right away, they're gonna yank the plug.
Yeah, 100%. What shirt are you wearing?
My Avengers one.
Okay, that's what I thought it was, but I couldn't tell. For some reason, the Thor, I don't know why it looked like Superman.
Yeah, the cape is a little long and majestic.
Yeah, I could only see like literally that part of it, and I thought it
like
was
this.
that,
He looks like Superman. Right here, he looks like.
That's all I could see.
That's what he looks like.
I saw
Superman.
that. Yeah, literally, I saw that, and I thought it was that in Doctor Manhattan. So I thought it was like DC comic shirt.
Fuck DC.
But yeah, fuck DC.
That'll do it for tonight.
Well, hey, if you haven't seen WandaVision, go fucking watch that shit. Cause
I gotta catch up.
So, yeah.
Shut up. I'm
Yeah.
only on episode 3. Excuse me.
episode 7 came out today, and holy shit, it made Disney Plus crash because of how many people watched it.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
But with that, we're gonna wrap it up for this week. We appreciate all the love and support. Like I said, last week was a little different. We're back in the. Oh my gosh, we're back in the groove.
Right?
Yeah, it's got the hiccups. Like a hiccup yawn. Back in the groove of things. 3 episodes this week. We'll have 3 next week. Obviously, we'll be talking more about baseball next week with players reporting on Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, be very, very hot topic on Wednesday. Looking forward to it. I have nothing left for the people. Anything you got, Krieger?
No, not at all. Just thanks for sticking with us, and hope you enjoy. If you want to just talk about anything, just fucking spam those comments.
Spam the comments, message us, whatever you got to do. But nothing else.
Also, we're gonna look since more pitchers and shit are reporting next week. I think we're gonna try and get a guest for next Wednesday. So
sounds like a plan.
We shall see.
With that being said, though, we will catch you guys Monday. Enjoy your weekend. We will see you then. Peace.